All right. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. This is episode one of the KW Vibes podcast. Dante doesn't realize he's muted because he's a cool
I
guy.
do.
he's aware. Welcome.
I'm good, buddy.
Welcome. I'm really excited to start this. Dante is really excited. Uh
It's gonna be a good time.
yeah, we've been planning, we've been scheming back and forth. We have some ideas. We hope this is gonna be a regular show, and we hope people are gonna make it part of their week, something to look forward to when things are looking kind of meh. So, the
For
topic
sure.
of today's podcast is exams and mental health, because it was just exam week. How are your exams, Dante?
Buddy, wish I could say they're a little bit better. Not the greatest. So I only had one, which was decent. It was English. Actually, that song that was just on our last intro song here, we had Jocelyn Flores by XXXTentacion. Um, I wrote an essay on that song for English class this year. I got a 94.
Actually,
So
though,
yeah,
hey,
no, for real.
specs.
It was dope.
But how were
It was like
exams?
but yeah, no, yeah. As far as exams go, I had to write an essay for that as well. It could have gone better.
Could have gone better.
Obviously, I haven't gotten it back yet, right? So I don't know exactly how it went. But yeah, so it was only English, and I guess we'll see. I wrote 15 pages, front and back, full scap, um, of
Just,
nothing. There was no content.
just writing words. They don't have to.
No, that's what I'm
You don't
saying,
actually
right?
have to put anything in it as long as there's a lot of words. Teachers don't want to read that.
hmm
Exactly. My exams, I had one exam. It was
hmm
biology, and I was
But
going into
ooh,
biology with like a 58 in the class, right? So I
a
needed
50 what?
a 58. Listen, I'm just trying to pass. I'm a college kid. You got me.
I
58.
feel
You
you. I
you
feel you.
biology, right? And
I feel.
after the exam, this is how bad it went. The last 15 minutes, I sat there and I was just shaking. I was like, I just fucking failed. There's no
Oh
way.
no,
There's no
bro,
way. Yo, I was
buddy.
as soon as like the time went so slow, but as soon as that shit finished, I like dipped. I was just like, I'm out. I don't want to talk about this. I like,
Yeah, that's the one thing, right? Is you could leave whenever from the English exam.
oh,
So I
should
mean,
say,
because it's 3 hours, which is insane, right?
yeah.
I thought 3 hours. That's just stupid. There's no reason for me to, sit here 3 hours. But I mean, I almost took the whole time. I was finishing up around 2:30, 2 hours 30 minutes. I mean, and buddy, it was getting there. I mean, I didn't even reread it. At that point, I was just like, this is it. I'm done.
Well, I feel
What
like
am I gonna do, right?
for exams, there's like two ends of the spectrum, right? There's
hmm
those of us who are, I mean, like me, who are just trying to pass and need to like really improve on your habits in order to pass.
Yeah,
And if you
dude.
don't do like if you don't learn stuff you didn't know, you're not gonna pass. It's just how it works. And there's those people who need marks, and those are the people that like they're grinding so hard, and like sometimes it doesn't happen for them, right? Like,
That's the thing, right? Is I was trying as hard as I
what did you
could,
need?
and
What did you need? Do you know what you needed?
well, here's the thing, right? Is I went in with a 91.
Okay,
Um,
so you're chilling.
and so right, so to maintain, I'm chilling, but like to maintain that mark, right? This is supposed to be my easy semester. I'm kind of freaked out for next semester. It's messing with me up here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But holy cow, man, I was just trying to get the best mark I could. Honestly, I wanted to just get, whatever I could do. And that's all I can
I
do,
mean,
just
the
try
way
your
they
best.
judge us, right? It's like, what are we all trying to be here? Like the next mayor, like fucking Waterloo. Speaking
Buddy,
of
next mayor. Yeah, municipal elections.
coming
That's
up,
coming up this year.
do you give a shit? I don't.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't. Dante,
buddy, like,
who's our mayor?
you know what? Honestly,
Who's our mayor, buddy?
I don't think I could tell you.
What does a
Yeah, bro,
mayor
I
even
don't know.
do?
Um, I'm sounding so stupid right now, but honestly,
Uh,
I have no idea what our mayor does,
you know
man.
your girl Bardish though, right?
Oh, Bardish, bro. Okay, that's my chick, man. My girl
That's your
Bardish.
chick,
I just know she's friends with JT. All right, my
Jay
boy J
Trudes.
Trudes. That's right. That's the boy. That's the man right there. And yeah, so we're chilling. I don't know. I don't know what do they even do? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I'm gonna vote in it. It's my first year I'm allowed to vote. Obviously. I'm 18. You're gonna be 18 then, or no?
Yeah. I'm gonna be 18 as well.
Yeah, because it's October 22nd,
Mhm.
2018, is our municipal elections. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the heck they do. I don't know. We'll figure it out though.
Feel you, man. Um, like although like this podcast, it's on exams, of course. You guys didn't see that. It's on exams. It's on mental health because
Mental health
exams
as well.
exams hurt you, man. Exams are not a good time. You are stressing. That is some of the most stressful times of a teenager's life and of a high schooler's life is exam season. And you have all these projects. The teachers just slap them on. They're like, hey, you remember that time you just spent 3 nights crying about how you had that huge project and you finished it? How would you like
Yeah.
3 more?
I would like 3 more now.
And you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
literally.
that's pretty cool because I also have 2 other classes that did the same thing, or even 3 other classes.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. The fact that the last like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, basically post Christmas break, is just so much of your mark, right? Like for me specifically, right? The last 2 weeks of school,
Mhm.
including the exam break, right? Counted for over 40% of my business mark.
That's ridiculous.
Counted for, which is just insane, right? And then my fault, but it also counted for over 40% of my English mark because
Mhm.
I had an overdue assignment that I
Yeah,
had to do
yeah.
that
That's
last
always gonna
week as
happen.
well.
For like, it's hard for the people that are caught up. Now people like me
And
who's
people like
trying to
me too,
catch up,
yeah.
trying to pass. That that hurts, man. Like the last week, and I feel like at this point everyone's so relieved that we're all just like ready to like support each other. You know?
Honestly, man, I feel like this break is just a big sigh of relief, just a sort of collective sigh
Yeah,
of relief from everybody in high school these days.
I respect
And
that, man.
man, we just get to start it all over on Monday. How great is that? Like,
I mean, the start of
it's
this
just like
year isn't as stressful, I guess, to
fair
be
enough,
fair.
I guess, right? Because you're already established and you have friends and stuff
I mean,
coming
like
into your classes.
to be honest, like exams is the hardest place, and this is like when we're all at our weakest as far as like mental strength. I feel like there's very few people that are like 100% confident going into exams. Like they're all worried,
I
they're all
totally agree.
scared, and like when we're at our weakest, like people do crazy things. People like I feel bad, to look at when the crazy things people will do when they feel bad, and I look at myself and I'm like, did I contribute to that? Was I part of
Oh,
the
I feel
reason that this person made a huge move? You know, obviously mentally they weren't doing well, but could I have made the difference that made them do better? And like suicide is such a
for
crazy
sure.
thing as a whole.
Suicide's like that. I saw a great quote today. I forget who exactly it was, but it was on somebody's Instagram story today. It was, I want to be the reason that somebody's last day turns into the first of the rest of their lives.
That's
And I was like,
deep, man.
dang, right? Like that's crazy, right? Um, I thought this great, it's a great sort of concept, right? Is just any day could be somebody's last. You never know what's going on in somebody else's life. Just being nice to someone, whether that's stress from exams or just stress from anything else. How are you doing mentally, like during these exams? Because I know personally, I was stressing out, man. I was going crazy. I haven't slept before 5 a.m. this entire week.
Man, I can't sleep before exams either, but like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everyone's in the same boat, right? And like depending on how mentally strong you are, you'll be able to handle it differently. But
Yeah,
I didn't handle it well, to be honest. I'm not that mentally strong in those areas. I can't
fair enough.
sometimes I can't grind. When I'm like feeling super like stressed out, I'll
Yeah.
just like take a break and even if that break is like 3 days and then I have one day to study for my exam.
Honestly, for me, I know, yeah, for me, I need pressure to work at all.
I feel you.
Um,
But like
I can't do something. If I know something's due in 2 weeks, I'll do it in 2 weeks. Like it's crazy.
honestly, like the whole like major moves though, and like suicide affects you, man. Like I looked at a recent story. Um,
Yeah.
there was an actor out of Glee, Mark Salling, I think his name was, and the man's a
Yeah.
convicted
Yeah, I heard about
pedophile.
this.
Convicted
Hmm.
pedophile, right?
I heard about
He had
this.
like over 20,000 pictures of like children in vulnerable
Oh yeah,
positions
and like
in his
and
house.
videos
Yeah,
too.
he just had all this. Like he's a terrible guy, and he
That's
committed
awful.
suicide, which you know and a lot of people are sad about it. It's like this
Hmm.
was one of the worst types of humans, the worst types of people.
Yeah,
And
just the
it
most
just like
awful person.
to put that in perspective, like
Hmm.
imagine
But he's
someone
still a
you
person, right?
love, right? Imagine someone you love, someone who's a good person, taking their own life.
Yeah,
That
no,
that
I know what you mean.
that's just how like because people were sad about a literal pedophile killing themselves.
Literally like the worst type of person.
Yeah,
But uh but yeah, obviously public and there was mixed opinions on that too. But I totally disagree with people that are saying, good thing he did. Like that's just how can you do that, right?
Yeah,
Like
I don't know. It's just like
it's
the,
still the worst thing.
a human life is just like so valuable these days, and we're
And,
really
and it's
disconnected from it
crazy.
until like someone close to you, is affected by it. Until someone you talk to and they say, yeah, I tried it or something, and
Or
it
then
puts into perspective. You're like, holy shit, you know, it's a, I
I would say right until you realize someone close to you is affected by it, but because I would guarantee everyone knows someone affected by it,
yeah,
whether they
but
know it or not. You know what I mean? Some people just are better at
I mean,
hiding it than others.
people tell me their stories of like people who've attempted suicide, and I just like, thank God you're still here, like thank
Yeah,
God,
crazy.
like, because obviously there's low points in everyone's life. I personally have never thought anything close to suicidal thoughts, even though I've been in some dark places, and that's just
Yeah.
how my mind works. I just never see it as like an option, but I'm not trying to like shame them, like.
No, not at all. No, I can totally understand. Well, actually, I can't. I'm not going to pretend I can
Yeah.
understand exactly where they're coming from, but I can at least try to be, you know, empathetic with them and listen to their
I
story,
mean,
right?
I
I
mean,
think
like
that's one of the best things you can do.
you look at life, and everyone's always like going at each other's throats, and then a day like Bell Let's Talk comes out. Good buddy of
Hmm.
mine, Nathan, tweeted out actually after Bell Let's Talk. He said it was really nice, even for a day, just to see everyone online just supporting each other and
Yeah.
letting each other know that we care about each other. Because a lot of the time we're just like, making jokes about people constantly, left, right, center. Little quips, little jabs, and we'll
Yeah,
we'll
it's
get into
really
that more.
nice.
But
It's really nice. I love that incentive. That was yesterday
yeah, Bell Let's Talk yesterday.
or 2 days ago. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was great. I mean, every year I post something at the start of the day around midnight. I'm like, guys, I'm gonna be retweeting every single, Bell Let's Talk post on my feed today. Like, if you don't like it, then whatever,
and
log off Twitter
these
for the
people who
day.
come out with like really inspiring stories, like
Hmm.
some people who you'd never know were struggling, right? You'd never know, and then
I,
they come out and they talk, and it's so important to talk, man. I am a person who will not talk about my problems. I am a person who will be like, I'll deal with it. Listen, I'll deal with it.
definitely.
So like I had to learn this year actually that sometimes you have to talk about shit because it's the only way that it's gonna get better. And
For
like,
sure. I mean, I think a lot of people are good at these days. We've been taught a lot of people are good at listening,
mhm,
um, and a lot of people, genuinely nice people, will listen to your problems, right? They'll help you out and be good friends with you. But for them personally, it might be really hard to talk about their problems, right?
mhm.
Um, yeah, going back to your point there on learning more about other people through Twitter, right? Through the Bell Let's Talk Day. There's someone I don't know her very well, but she posted something uh, on Twitter, and it was like just talking about her personal story. And then it was the Bell Let's Talk, and I had no idea. I mean, no idea what people are going through, and I think that just really speaks to the fact that you really never know, right? You gotta just be nice to everyone. You never know what someone's gonna be going through.
Later in this podcast, we're gonna each go into our own stories, as we're
Yeah,
both
live it.
not as mentally stable as we may seem.
Sure.
Like
I think that's
we've
for
had
everybody.
times, and everyone's been like that. As everyone's
Yeah.
struggling. I like to say that like I had this opinion for a while, and I feel like it's wrong now, but I felt like, why are you complaining about being sad? Everyone's sad, everyone's depressed, right? Why you? But it can
Yeah.
honestly, like, you should complain, like you should talk to people about it. Like it's like I just
I
that's
think
just
there's
how
a
I felt.
difference too. I think there's a difference too between complaining and like seeking help. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
fair enough.
not just seeking help, but getting support from other people. I think that's really important to do.
And like Bell Let's Talk, it's an initiative to raise money, but really it's like a movement, and that's what I love about it. Like I feel like just the positivity that can spread is really amazing, and like I'm 100% for it. I wish more things like that, more days like that happen. Like who needs holidays when you could have like positivity days, right? Like you know
Like actually, for real, dude. There's been a lot of mixed opinions. People were annoyed because they're like, this is just a publicity stunt by Bell. Like what? I don't get that at all. I don't
even
understand
if
that.
it is, you don't
Yeah.
look at
Even if
you
it is,
don't look
who
at
cares?
the point of it. You look at the effect of it, right? That's how I see
Yeah.
things, right?
That's really good. I like that.
Even if someone is doing something like, we did CSR in international business this year, it's all about,
Hmm.
letting people know
That's right.
you're a good company and you're trustworthy. But like,
Yeah.
does it really matter where it's coming from, as long as the effect is a positive one, really, right? Like, and I
Yep.
feel like Bell
Yep.
cares. Like, I feel like it's not just a, a stunt, even
I
though,
do feel like they care. Yeah,
yeah,
they the their thing is I like Bell because they're not about that. This sounds like an ad for Bell. It's not
Yeah,
not an ad for Bell, obviously,
sponsored.
guys, but
Yeah, hey, hey, episode one,
spawn
we already sponsored. Let's go.
a little bit. No, but yeah, so they're really supportive all year round, not just on Bell Let's Talk Day, right? They're a company that definitely cares about especially mental health. They have a lot of initiatives
And
within their company even.
the whole like talking about your problems thing leads me into like the first thing we really wanted to discuss today, and it's the
Uh-huh.
concept of avoiding your problems versus
Yeah.
fixing your problems. Because I am
Yeah.
guilty. I am a guilty man at avoiding problems.
Label it.
When something
Guilty.
when something is bad in my life,
Hmm.
all, all growing up, I'd always be like, you know what? I'm gonna deal with that later. I'm gonna let that figure itself out.
Hmm.
Even and it's like you want to do cool things with your life, and if you're stressed about something, you could fix it, or you could just avoid it, and it'll just get worse. And you like maybe you'll sit there and you'll watch like 8 hours of YouTube when you could be working on an essay that you don't want to do.
Done that. Yeah, for sure.
and
Um, and
yeah,
yeah, just avoiding the problems. I think I'm a chronic procrastinator. Well, actually, I know I am. Uh, Man, I can't do something until the last day. Every time, I just try to avoid it. And now that's a pretty easy problem, not even related to our mental health theme today, but yeah, just work, man. I just procrastinated so much. Even going to work, I've been late to like 3 shifts in a row these past couple weeks
and it's
at
not
my
even
job
like
there.
just about school and work and all those areas. It's
No.
about yourself, right? Like you
Yeah.
know when you're not doing well. Don't lie to yourself. Don't be like, "Oh, I'm doing okay." Like you know. And if you don't do anything about it, listen, I can understand if someone needs that time that, just to forget about things, just to move on, to
Hmm.
to procrastinate, the issue for whatever. But you do have to eventually deal with the problem. And if you just let it sit there, it's gonna get worse. And that's the big thing. And it's gonna become like all you think about. And the only thing that you can really do at that point is distract yourself because it's too big of a problem now. And you want to tackle it before it gets that big. But if you need some time, like to be distracted, like I don't know, I watch YouTube, I watch Twitch, I go on social media when I'm not feeling
Definitely. Me
good.
too.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I
how I feel.
and I think that can be a good thing too. Sometimes distracting yourself from something for a little bit can give you time. You don't want to deal with something maybe in the heat of the moment, especially if you're maybe really angry at something. Good time to It's good to take time to maybe cool off.
Mhm.
Um, Maybe yeah, go do something by yourself, watch some YouTube, maybe watch a show on Netflix, something like that. Um, but definitely you gotta face your problems eventually.
Once again,
And I
I
think
want to make it clear that we're not shaming people who push away their problems. This
yeah,
isn't this podcast isn't about shaming people. It's just about talking
just a
and about
discussion, right?
yeah, like I said, we're guilty. We've done it
Oh, for sure.
for
Yeah,
sure.
all the
Like
time.
I've had some bad times where I avoided a problem, even a small problem, even something I could have got done in an hour. I
Yeah.
would procrastinate for 8 hours until I had 15 minutes to do it, and then suddenly it's like the worst problem, because it should have taken me an
Hmm.
hour, and it's rough. Like it's.
You just gotta deal with stuff. I think that's something you just gotta learn in life, right? Is you just gotta deal with stuff
I
as
mean,
it comes.
time management is obviously a thing, but like
Yeah, it's obviously a skill you need to learn. Everyone needs to learn. Um, but man, yeah, definitely you gotta just deal with stuff. I
and
did that.
you need to ask for help, really. Like if you can't deal with something on your own, even if it
True.
seems small, talk to your friends. Talk to your family, talk to people, right? Like that's why Bellet's talk is so good to me. Is that like you can't deal with every problem by yourself, no matter how small it might seem. It might be really big to you in your head, and it might mentally be really hard for you to overcome. So like being able to reach out to people is such an important thing, and like I've tried to make it my goal this year to be a person that people can reach out to. Like I had a conversation with my buddy. I'm not going to name drop him or anything, and
Hmm.
like just being able to talk to him and make him feel even a little bit better, just like it made me feel good as a person. It made me feel like I was doing something good, and I feel like we need more of that. We need more people who are like, hey, come talk to me. Even your friends who you think are good, just like make sure they're good. Ask them how they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's one thing I think it's definitely important to do is uh, get your friends together one time and just be like, how's everyone doing? Maybe not all at once. I think definitely actually one on one's better. But definitely creating that type of relationship with people where you can tell them how you're feeling and you won't get made fun of or anything like that. I think it's really important. Um, I know I definitely have people like that in my life, which is good, and it's really great to be building a support network always, right?
And I
That just goes along
and
with
I like
fixing problems.
I'm a person now who wants to be part of someone's support network, you know? I
Yeah.
don't want to be the person that makes you have to have a support network. I want to be part of it, you know? I want to be someone that even someone who's not that close to me can be like, that's a good guy to talk to, you know? That guy's down. He's ready to listen to your problems because believe it or not, I actually like listening to people's problems. I'd rather deal with someone else's problems than my own 90% of the
Hmm.
time, which is the
Me
truth.
too.
And like
Yeah, man.
to transition that, like of course now we're gonna take this part of the podcast to talk about our own stories
Our personal stories.
and
Yeah.
how mental health has affected us. Because I feel like if we're just at the outside looking in and you don't have any, you know, point of reference to how our minds work, it's just gonna seem like we're just telling you things without any, frame of reference. So
Hmm.
as far as my story goes, this one is a little hard for me to talk about, but as you're aware, or a lot of people who know me are aware, grade 11 was not a good year for me. I was an asshole and a piece of shit. Holy shit. Like I look back at myself and some of the things I did and I go like what the hell is wrong with this guy? Holy. Why are you making bullying Twitter accounts? What? This is not going to help you at any point in your future.
Oh, this is not good.
And like making a joke about someone, like it might seem funny in the moment and it might be like a good, you're to spread out and you're gonna like laugh with some friends, but that person's gonna feel bad and that person's not gonna want to talk to you anymore because you're a piece of shit. You're an asshole. And the reason I was this is because I was struggling mentally and I didn't want to come to terms with that. So how I dealt with it was just, push it off into other people. Everyone else sucks, so I must be better by comparison. The classic like bullying metric or whatever that they always talk about, where bullies like feel bad, so they have to, you know, make other people feel worse than them so that they can
Yeah.
feel like they're better. And for me, I didn't realize this until like very late. And it wasn't just that. I was, coming to school like with I had my flow going and it was so awful. Holy, like like it was
Buddy, you
worse.
want to talk about bad
Listen,
hair?
listen, it was worse
Hold
than
on,
your
time
bun.
out.
No, listen,
Time out,
my
buddy.
flow was like girl's hair. What the hell?
Buddy, I had hair to my shoulders. Okay, come on now.
For sure,
Anyway,
buddy.
go
Your
on,
man bun
buddy.
was cute. Bring back
Yeah.
the man bun. Hashtag bring back the man bun.
Hashtag bring back the man bun.
Of course,
You
it
know,
was cute.
you know.
But
They keep going, buddy.
like I came to school. I'd wear like sweatpants and the same thing every day. Not to mention I wear sweatpants every day now, but
And me too.
sweatpants are the.
Whatever.
But like I honestly just was so down, and all I did to make myself feel better was to put shit on other people, to say the least. Like screw you. I'm not as bad as you, even though I know, like I knew personally I wasn't a good person and I didn't do anything about it. That's the thing, right? Is I knew that some of the things I was doing, like people would say to me like, "Why the hell would you do that?" And I'd be like, "Oh, it's just funny, bro. It's just a joke. It's just a prank, bro." Yo.
Hey man, like how are you getting mad? I'm
Yeah.
joking. You're an idiot for
Yo,
getting
yo,
mad,
yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
yeah.
You're dumb for getting mad at me. What do you mean? It's like even if it is a joke, if the person is seriously offended by it, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's
No.
just
No.
flat out not worth it. And I've come to terms with that now, and I hope that I've become a better person. I know people have um given me another chance this year, which I appreciate personally because I don't know if I would have done it. I'm at this point in my life, I don't hate anyone. I'm super like you do you. If you do something I don't agree with, talk to me in a
Yeah,
week and
that's
I'll be over it. Right? Like,
yeah, sure.
but honestly, like I wasn't a good person, and everyone who like gave me another chance this year was like huge. Like it's huge for me.
Yeah, man. No, I totally feel you there. I think everyone deserves second chances, and I think as in general we should try to give that to everybody.
And I want to make sure I'm saying that I'm not using mental health as an excuse of why I was an asshole. It,
Mhm.
it doesn't make sense, but it was most of the reason why I was an asshole. I also like I don't know.
I think there's
it's
a difference between stating the reason and using it as an excuse, right? Just because maybe this is why doesn't make it okay, but it's still could be the reason, right?
like I remember
Or is the reason.
I had math last year, and math was
Hmm.
kicking my ass. I think I passed it with a 51. Listen, we
Yeah,
in there.
I
We
got a
in there.
51 on the math
It's
exam
a
last year.
pass. It's a pass.
Yeah.
Hashtag it's a pass. But like it was kicking my ass, and I was not doing well handling with it. And some of the other courses too, where I was not doing well handling it. And you have these things in life that take you away from it. Like I was playing rugby at least last year, so that helped me. I had something to do. But outside
Hmm.
of rugby, I was just like a miserable fuck you. I'm big Swede. I'm huge. Get out of my face kind of guy,
I'm big. Hey, guess what? I'm stronger than you. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, lit. So I don't know, Dante, if you wanted to go into a bit about yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit more story too. First I want to say that it takes a lot of I don't know guts, but thanks for sharing your story there,
Yeah,
buddy.
no problem, man.
It's a big thing to do, I think. Um, yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about myself, my sort of journey with mental health, right? So growing up, obviously, starting young, I was always a pretty positive kid. I had a great time. Um, had like decent amount of friends. Coming into like middle school, I think I tried to fit in a lot, and that sort of started dragging me down when I realized I wasn't like these other people, maybe the cool kids, right? I
Fair
wasn't,
enough, fair enough.
you know, I didn't really vibe with them, right? And coming into high school, I was very fortunate actually. I had sort of very close group of friends.
Hmm.
Um, we did a lot of stuff together. We went to like lots of events and stuff. It was great. I met people through a couple different things, mainly volleyball. Sports I think is great for meeting people, and I totally did. I met some of my best friends through that. And grade 10 was a rough year for me. I was having some problems at home. Um, I won't get too into it on the podcast here, but it wasn't great, and it sort of turned into a cycle where I was having a rough time at home, and then I was having sort of a rough time at school. That really, um, it really started picking up summer between grade 10 and 11, and then grade 11 was just, especially the start of the year, specifically, was just like the worst time ever for me. Um, I was super depressed. I I kind of pushed everyone out. I would start getting offended by everything, and I'd start taking everything personally.
Yeah.
Stuff that people would say like just as jokes, um, and they really were jokes.
Nice
Like
man
looking
bun,
back,
Dante.
yeah, so exactly,
Yeah.
dude.
Like
Stuff
that
like
would get
that.
to
They would
you.
be like, that would get to me, man.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad. I'd just get so angry. I'd be like, shut up, like f you, right? Like all this stuff. Like I, it's just like there was no reason to, right? So it just really started driving me down. And I actually did get some help. I I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but yeah, so I saw a therapist for a little while, a couple weeks. Wasn't really working out for me, so I didn't stop seeing him. But yeah, so I talked to him a little bit, and it was just nice to. I think talking to him, I just realized that talking about your problems actually matters and is
Mhm.
important. I stopped seeing because I didn't really feel like I needed to talk to someone else. I can talk to my friends that are there for me that want to support me, that
Of
want to help
course.
me out.
Of course.
Um, so I started doing that a little bit, and I told my story to a couple people, specifically what was going on, and that helped me a lot. I definitely got, um, it definitely helped. I got a lot less depressed. Uh, I started going out more and like going out with friends, hanging out with friends more, and just started to enjoy stuff more. My marks actually um, really low, and then I couldn't really get them back up. They were a little too far down. And then a combination of other things, obviously. And I want to stress, right? It doesn't just happen in a day, right? It doesn't just turn around right away. Um, it takes time, and it really does, and it's a process. Whenever you're trying to,
Mhm.
um, whenever you're trying to get better, whenever you're trying to improve your mental health, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to fall back into whatever it is, um, whether it be like depression, anxiety, anything like that. You're gonna get back into there, and I think it's just important to keep going, keep trying to get better.
A little later on the podcast, we're gonna go into some quote unquote solutions, and I know it's not
Yeah.
that simple, but hopefully we'll give some insight onto what worked for us and what
Yeah.
we know have worked for people we know who struggle with these type of things.
Oh,
But
exactly. Yeah.
what I want to transition. Are you done with your story, Dante? Is that
Yeah.
about it?
I think that's pretty much it. I mean, bringing us up to date here. It's exams grade 12. Um, I'm in such a better spot than I was a year ago.
Such a
It's
better
just
spot.
crazy.
That's good, man. That's good.
Um, it's just great. I feel good. Yeah, it's been a good little journey. I mean, it's never over. Obviously, it's gonna um, go your entire life. Um, but yeah, totally. So yeah, what were you trying to transition
I
to
mean,
here?
to finish my point,
Yeah.
this year wasn't like I wasn't reborn. I wasn't like, oh, I'm here. I am
Uh-huh.
now no not depressed. I am now no anxiety. I am
Hmm.
super sweet, right? Like this year hasn't been amazing for me, but it's been better. And the main reason it's been better is because I've made a conscious effort to be a better person, and it makes me, like even when I don't like myself because I'm constantly procrastinating and putting myself in bad situations. Like I'm a guilty person. I have a guilty conscience. When a teacher is nice to me and wants to help me and I just don't do an assignment or I don't do it, I feel so bad. And that
Yeah.
that that feeling transitions into me avoiding the problem because I don't want to feel that bad. I don't want to fail a test for a teacher who's really trying to help me pass.
You're being really nice too. Yeah. No, I
Right?
feel.
And
Uh,
I feel guilty even talking to people. I'm like, I don't listen. You got your own issues. You know, don't worry about mine, right?
buddy, that's one thing I think about me is man, I never feel bad about myself. Like, that's not really true, but my ego is ridiculously high. My self-confidence, man,
big head.
I'm the best.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
like I'm
hey,
the best, right?
Dante, your
You know
shit.
what I mean?
No.
Nah, nah, I'm the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you can.
So
Yeah,
that never like really affects me that way, but I can totally see that, right? And I feel I I I don't really have any insight into that.
I
I don't know
actually
a lot about that.
I wanted to tweet out or I said to someone, I'm like, my self value or worth is still my self worth has improved, but my self value is still low. And you might say that's the same word. What are you saying? It means that
Hmm.
you know, I still feel bad about things I do, but I don't look at myself and go, man, that guy sucks. I go like, that
I
guy,
see what
that
you're saying.
guy could vibe with. That guy's okay. He just does some stupid shit. Like
Fair enough.
he puts himself in bad situations, but I don't look at myself and be like, man, that guy sucks. Who would don't talk to that guy. That's the other thing. It's like someone told me a story. They're like, "Oh, I got mad at someone because they were talking to you when you were an asshole." I'm like, "Oh no, I'd be the same." I'm like, "Why are you talking to that guy? That guy sucks." You're like, listen. Obviously, we're all struggling with things, and you don't want to push people out of your life. But if someone's bringing you down, it's just it's sometimes not worth it. If you can help them, but if not,
I
if
feel.
if they're just giving you nothing to work off of and just putting you down, it's not worth it really. And like I said, I'm a guilty person. My conscience, I'll feel bad all the time about things. I feel bad about little things. Like I'll say something to someone and I'll just message them later like, "Hey yo, that thing I said to you? Did that
Yeah, sorry about that.
were you good about that?" Was that
Dude,
mean? Sorry about that.
I uh I always I'm kind of like that too actually. I really want people to like I don't want people to think badly about me, I think it is. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's more like I want everyone to like me
Fair enough.
almost. So if I do something bad to someone or I feel or I'm, rude or mean or something, I'll feel really guilty about it. I'll feel like, my bad, dude. Like who am I to, make you feel bad about yourself?
Yeah, who am I, right?
Like who am I? I'm no like
Just
don't
some
take my
asshole.
opinion. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So,
No, I feel.
and then what I wanted to transition that to is when you're feeling guilty, what you really need is places where you can be free of that guilt. Places where, for even for an hour, you are feeling good about yourself. You are feeling
Yeah.
happy with yourself. And
People talk about happy places,
yeah,
and I think
happy
that's really
places.
important. Yeah,
Like
happy place,
like
right?
even if it's just like a not a sad place, you know, even if it's
Yeah,
like a
like
mediocre
a
place.
yeah, I think it's important. And I think it can come in lots of different ways, right? Physical places, or even just like mental. Like obviously, you're trying to get to a mental place. We're talking about mental health this episode, and I think definitely improving um,
Where's your happy place, Dante?
depression stuff like that. Buddy, I'm happy with people. I really like being around other people.
Fair enough.
Um, yeah, even not even like doing anything, just hanging out, uh, doing whatever. I have lots of happy places. I really like. I watch a lot of YouTube and a lot of TV movie. Not a lot of TV actually. A lot of like movies.
I think the
Um,
difference is like some YouTube can make you happy, but too much is just a
true,
distraction. You know, too much is just like a
true.
not even a happy place at that point. It's just like a
It's like, what am I doing?
it's
Like I just watched eight
man,
hours of
man. Can I go off on a
Yak
tangent?
Channel.
You ever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
ever
for sure.
watch you're ever watching something and the only reason you're watching it is like 3 5 a.m. because you don't want to wake up the next morning. You know,
Yep,
you don't want to deal with whatever's at you, and you know you're gonna have to deal with the next day. And like and then
100%.
because of that you mess up your sleep schedule, right? And that just doesn't help at all, right? Like we're gonna in solutions we're gonna talk more
Well,
about being healthy,
talking about
but
sleep, but man, yeah, it's no happy place is so important. I think it's really important to find your specific happy place, no matter who you are. Griffin, where would you be?
so
Where would you
I
say?
have a couple happy places. I've recently discovered that with this podcast, and I don't know, some people are aware, I stream on Twitch, play some
Hmm.
games. You know, I talk with some viewers, and that's a good place for me. I really am almost addicted to being a good person and
I love your
having
stream, by the way.
thanks, buddy, and having my opinion mean something. You know, like I want to be someone. You know, I don't want to be that asshole in grade 11 that everyone's like, why are you talking to that guy? That guy sucks. I want to be someone that like people can trust, people can, you know, care about the opinion of, and maybe that's my own ego talking, right? But like for me, a happy place would be anywhere where I can talk to someone and feel like they care about what I have to say, you know? And you know, maybe once again, it's my own ego. I want people to care about me. I want people to, you know, say I'm important. But for me, and then like
I think that's
rugby,
everyone, yeah.
and then like rugby, where like
Rugby,
I
true.
can be sick. You know, I can be sick at rugby. I'm pretty decent at rugby. I wasn't that
Pretty
good
big.
last year, but I've been sick at times, and it like you know once again, it's like
Yeah,
being
it feels good.
getting that feeling of like not entitlement, but like accomplishment, and like
Accomplishment,
feeling
yeah.
like you're a good, you know, you're doing something. At the gym, gym is a happy place for me because at the
Ooh,
gym, no matter how shitty I'm feeling about the fact I'm not doing, you know, this assignment or that assignment or studying
you
for
feel
this test,
productive.
I'm feeling productive because at least I'm getting bigger. You know, I'm working
I
on
like it.
myself. And
Yeah,
like,
it's always good. I think you should put yourself above above anything, pretty much. We'll talk about that a little bit later in
I
solutions
mean,
as
you were
well.
saying like work is a good place for you, right? Before.
Yeah, yeah, I was saying that earlier. I think that contributed a lot to me getting better too, and just improving my mental health is a couple of reasons. First of all, I felt very productive because not only am I like it feels good. I'm supporting myself,
Hmm.
making money, but also at least where I work at McDonald's. Woohoo! But a lot of people work there. We have 154 employees right now. A
Ooh,
lot around
big
high school age.
dons.
Yeah, big dons, buddy. But yeah, I met a lot of really close friends through there, and it was just a happy place. It was something I could go to, work on improving. I've been promoted uh, twice, and
Flexing on you with
um,
that McDonald's promotion, fam.
no
Yo,
big deal,
yo,
buddy.
I'm
No
making
big deal.
stacks though. Yo, I'm flexing on you.
Flexing on you with that minimum wage job,
Yo,
man.
I make junior chickens and they pay me, yo.
They pay you to do it, and I get them
Yo,
for
I'm
free.
flexing, yo.
Go flex. But yeah, no, for sure, definitely a happy place. I like, it's something I can work on. Um, I meet a lot of people. I get to hang out. It's basically getting paid to hang out with friends
Fair
for
enough.
free. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a good time. Plus, I get half price. So, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
always a good time. But
For a
yeah,
little
definitely work.
for a little point of reference for everyone watching, we're not currently reading chat. At the end, we're gonna read chat and you know respond to a little things and have a little, not question and answer, but like if you want to share your own stories and we can give your opinions, our opinions on them. But right now,
Yeah, we'll
just to
talk
keep
about chat at
things
the end.
rolling, we're not going to look too much at chat, just so you're aware. Um,
Yeah.
and the last thing we wanted to talk about is asking for help before we hit up solutions. And like,
Yeah, we'll go asking for
how hard is it to ask
asking
for
for
help,
help would
dude?
be
How
our
hard is it to ask for help,
bro. It
dude? It's
took
so
me
hard,
over a year.
man.
I
It
mean,
is. It
I
is the
just did
hardest
nothing.
thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. Asking for help, at least for me,
Mm.
like I said, I was like, I don't want you to deal with my problem. Listen, you have your own shit. I'm, like, don't be. I don't want to be the reason that you're like, oh man, I feel bad for that guy. I don't want people to feel bad for me,
True.
even when things aren't going well. And I actually ended up having to ask for help this year. More into
Yeah.
my story. Uh,
Yeah.
this one's even worse. Is that I skipped 2 days. I didn't want to write my biology test because I wasn't ready and I wasn't ready to fail it. Right.
Yeah.
And my dad dropped me off in the morning, and of course, I just dipped and I walked. Like I was going to the door. He left, and then I dipped. Right. My
Mhm.
biology teacher saw me do that because she was like right at that door. So
Dang,
so
bro.
she emailed my parents, and
Wow.
I had to finally come clean, and like honestly that was a good thing for me. It didn't feel good at
Wow.
the time. I like you get that cold shiver of like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
I'm fucked. I
crazy.
am fucked.
Yeah, like what am
Like
I? Yeah.
this whole
Wow.
ruse I've been putting up, it's gone. But honestly
Wow.
it helped me because like it forced me to finally like come clean to my parents and be like, you know what, I'm not 100%. I'm not doing great. Like, and I know I've been acting like everything's fine, but it's maybe
But
not.
it's not.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah. Wow.
for
Didn't
me,
even know
like
that.
asking for help, it had to happen in like a scary situation like that for me to actually do
Sometimes it
it.
takes that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might take that, right? Some outer influence to sort of push it
Like
along.
I'll vent to one of my buddies, and I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at venting about when things are not going well. Like I called one of my friends after I thought I failed my bio exam, right? And
Yeah.
I just like vented for like 20 minutes. I was like, "Hey buddy, listen, I gotta talk to you about why this sucks," you
Hmm.
know? And but
Yeah.
before that, I would never vent, and I just bottle it up and just be like, at least I wasn't an asshole anymore, but I wasn't a happy person.
Hmm. I think definitely talking. We said this a lot, but definitely talking to people. Um, that's actually listed as one of our solutions here. So important as a
Mhm.
solution. Asking for help. uh, I don't even think you might necessarily have to ask. I think just sharing your story, uh, people are going to offer their help and their opinion, and people are generally nice. I do believe that people, in general, are more nice than they are evil than they are
I
mean.
did see a tweet that said someone called me exhausting when I tried to talk to them about my mental health problems.
And a lot of people do say that.
That is
That's
that is the
mm,
worst thing for me, and like,
that's
don't
crazy.
do that to someone, even if you're not doing
No,
well mentally either.
I think it's the worst thing.
They like it is so imperative. You have to understand the importance that you can give someone if they open up to you. Being able to
Yeah,
tell them, even if you don't have a point of reference, even if you're not sure how to make things better, just listening to them can help so much. And I feel like as a people, as a community, we have to like make that decision to do that, and to be like, even maybe you do shove someone off who says like, "Oh, I'm not doing well." Message them later, be like, "Yay, sorry, I wasn't feeling
hey,
too
bro.
good."
So yeah,
Yeah,
as
that
soon as
that
you have
time
a
you want
have
to
a
talk,
moment,
I'm down. You want to talk. Someone tweets some shit out, and it's like depressing, like I hate myself, or this life is like the worst. Message them, hit them with a DM if they're a good friend of yours. Say, talk to me.
straight
Like,
up. What are friends for, right? You're supposed to be supporting each
and as
other.
much as they might say that they're just tweeting that out to like get some emotion out, it could be a call for help, right? And if you're not
For
answering
sure.
that, like
You
you're
got to
just
recognize
you got
that. Who is, right?
right.
If you're supposed to be their friend, who is?
I talked to one
Uh,
of my buddies
mhm.
for about an hour because he had a lot of the same similarities as I did,
Yeah.
as far as like mentally feeling have a low sense of self uh, value or worth or whatever, and being like knowing that the decisions you're making aren't good ones, but making them anyways and feeling bad about the decisions you're making. And like I talked to him and tried to give him a little bit of insight, and like
Hmm.
even that, like, I don't think I cured him. I don't think I
No.
got him out of this hole. But maybe
Maybe it's a step on the process, right?
maybe I
Step
like
in the journey.
gave him a shovel or something. Maybe I didn't.
I like that.
Maybe I even told him he could climb out. Maybe I just told him you can do it. Like
Yeah,
told him, hey man, that hole you can handle it,
dude.
right?
Support is so important. Just having people you can talk to. It's just so important.
And
It,
then
it you just keep it to yourself, man.
another solution we touched on before though is
Hmm.
breaking the cycle. So for me,
Yeah,
this is what worked for me personally, and this comes back to happy places. This comes back to guilt. This comes back to a lot of things we hit on this podcast. But for me, what it comes down to is I needed to stop feeling bad, and there was to do that. You say, oh, you just fix the problem, fix what's making you feel bad. That wasn't gonna work for me. It was not happening for me. I was not in a place where I felt like I could fix that the thing, and I'd say, oh, just do it, just do it, just do it. So what I had to do was I had to do things that made me happy. I started streaming. I you know worked out more. I did more things that when I was feeling bad, I went and did something to break the cycle. Because the cycle is feeling bad, right? About not doing things, and
then
then
not
so
doing
you
those
don't
things.
do those
Yeah.
things because you feel bad, and it's a vicious cycle. So if you can just do something that makes you happy, it might break that cycle, and then you can use that once you're in a better frame of mind to then handle the problem. So for me, that's the solution that worked, was breaking the cycle.
Yeah, no, I agree. I actually, I don't know if you know this about me, but I keep my life very very scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
It's a
I
good
have
thing.
like lists of stuff and like, so for example, all my money, my finances, I know exactly where every penny has gone for the last 3 years. Every single thing I've bought, whether it be cash, credit, debit, whatever. I'm very structured like that. I started using. There's a lot of like health and wellness apps on iPhone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or not just iPhone, any phone. Everyone has phones, obviously. Anyone can get these, anyone can use these. But I use specifically. We're gonna talk about this in a second here. Maybe we could transition into that. Is for sleep. I use this sleep application. I forget what it's called, but
Sleeping is
basically,
so important, man. It is
it's so
so
important. Right?
important.
I try to get 7+ hours of sleep every night, and I never get more than 6 on a school night ever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's so important. I mean, this app, it helps me out. It tells me when to go to bed. You just have to set sort of a time when you need to wake up, when you should wake up, and then it'll adjust actually for how many times you normally snooze. So if you normally snooze once, it'll actually adjust for that and make your snoozes shorter, and then B, just move the alarm a couple minutes ahead, so that you're still gonna be on time for whatever you're doing. I can't tell you how many times I slept right through my first class.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
problem, man. I noticed, and then
so many times, man. I did it at least once a week, right?
and like I tried not to
Uh,
call you out for it, but I did ask you sometimes.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
what's
sure.
what's
And I
good,
mean,
man?
yeah, you were in
Yeah,
that class. And it's just like, it, basically, I'll explain for everyone. I had first period spare, and then I had a class period B, and then
yeah,
lunch.
yeah.
So I would wake up. My first class was at 9:30. I would wake
To
up at
be
like quarter after
fair,
nine.
it was a bit of a bullshit class in international
Yeah, okay,
business.
fair enough.
In
That's
national
that's
business, there was days, and I mean a lot of days where we learned nothing. Listen,
that's true. But yeah, so I'd wake up at like 9:15 or like 9:10, and I'd be like, well, I can either get up now, or I can sleep for another like 2.5 hours.
or I could hit up YouTube.
Well, that too.
Yeah,
Um, right, and I had to just roll over, go back to sleep. But this app's helped me out. I mean, just structuring out my life, and yeah, I think structure is super important. I actually know somebody that's been to rehab for a mental health disorder, and basically what rehab is, right, is it's super structured.
what's
You
up?
have basically no free
Hmm.
time, right?
Hmm.
It's like this is what you're going to be doing here,
You're
here, and
eating
here.
here. Yep. You're
Yeah,
working
you're
out
eating here
here.
at this time. This is when you're
Yeah.
waking up. This is when you're going to bed. Um, like all this stuff, right? Super structured, and I think you don't have to go to another place to
Mhm.
do that. I think you can do that by yourself.
It is hard though. It is hard to structure
It's so
yourself.
hard, and you just gotta stick to it. I think you just gotta make a decision, right? That you're gonna be changing this. Here's how you're gonna do it. Come up with a viable plan. Stick to it. Have somebody um, accountable for it too.
Mhm.
So let's say eh, you might think you might have a problem with maybe it is watching YouTube, for example.
Mhm.
Maybe you watch YouTube too much. First of all, there's tons of support networks for that, so you can, um, get applications that will shut off YouTube after 30 minutes, something like that, right?
Mhm.
Or block
Not too
YouTube.
bad.
after 2 hours of watch time in a day or something like that.
And then you disable the
Um,
application and you go, listen,
yeah, well,
listen
exactly.
here. I need this. This is for me. Listen.
Right?
That's like the other thing is that
No, I
like
know.
people will
Get your friend to change
exaggerate.
password or something.
People will exaggerate like, you know, things they do to make themselves feel better. Like, listen, listen. This is for me. I'm spending $100,000 on this car that I could get it for 10,000 here, but this one's signed, and I'm doing this for me. This one's for me. Like, like
This one's for me,
it
guys.
isn't
Yeah,
important. It is
that's real.
important to do things for you, but don't use
Hmm.
it as an excuse. You know.
I feel you there. I feel you there, man. Um, we also have written down here being healthy. Uh, to be honest, I'm not healthy at all, and
Yeah. Do
I
you
think
eat?
it kind
You
of
don't eat
shows.
well?
Buddy, I eat McDonald's a lot.
I mean, you
Let's just
do
say
work there. Listen,
I know.
listen. I
Let's just
can.
say I eat there like five. I also track exactly what I eat and when.
This man Dante is like, hey, you should get a job at McDonald's with me. I'm like, wait. I look down at my stomach. I'm like, wait, wait. I don't want it to be.
Is it a bad idea?
Listen, listen, listen.
No, I eat there like 5 or 6 days
To
a
be
week. It's
fair,
pretty bad.
oh really? You haven't gotten sick of it yet, eh?
No, I am.
But you still
It's
eat
just
it
like
because it's just
available.
easy. Yeah,
It's just like
that's
available
fair
and like
enough.
dirt
And
cheap.
chip, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Dude, I looked at how much I spend in a year from
mhm,
in 2016. I haven't looked at 2017 yet. I'm scared too.
yeah.
But in 2016, keep in mind also, I only worked there for like 6 months in 2016.
How much you spend?
I spent $600 on
Goddamn,
McDonald's alone.
goddamn. That's like me at burrito. Goddamn.
That's insane, bro. Like
Oh,
that's
that's the other thing.
crazy.
When I was all like in a bad place in grade 11, I'd eat a burrito every
Mhm.
day, and I was munching.
Now hold on a second. I love those burritos though.
Yeah,
Hold on
but
a
like
second.
that was like the
No, I
highlight
know,
of
I
my
know.
day. You don't understand.
No, I
Like
know.
I'd be like, hey, who wants to go to burrito? People were like,
I
even some
remember I
days,
went over to burritos.
sometimes people would be like, oh, no one's really wanting to go. Okay, I'm gonna get a burrito by myself then. Like, I
No.
that was my happy thing. I liked eating burritos. I had a burrito today, dude. It was actually really good.
Dude, I wanted a burrito today, but I got Subway instead, which was fine.
That's the decision. All right,
Well, I got scratch tickets before that. Did
you
not
got
win.
more?
Yeah, I did
Wait,
not win.
this man, he wins with a scratch ticket. I played for him.
Yeah. Okay.
Who says I should get paid for that? Listen, I played it for him, and it was actually like a somewhat difficult one to play. Like Dante would have missed
It
his
was a
$12. I swear.
crossword. What are you
Listen,
saying?
no, listen. It was
Oh
like
no, it wasn't. Like a
lis-
poker thing.
listen. Yeah, just because it had poker cards on it doesn't mean you understand it, Dante. All right. Yeah. Do you have anything left to say, or should we hit up some comments?
Um, I think we can wrap it up about here. What was it? That was about an hour.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Yeah. So
Let's see
just
what people are saying in chat. I don't know if
yeah, we
anyone
can do that just in a second here. I just want to wrap it up
for the
for the
VOD.
YouTube audience here. Yeah, so guys, we're gonna be streaming hopefully every week. We're gonna try to come out Thursdays. Fridays might be a time that works as well. We're still trying to figure that out exactly
Mhm.
when we're gonna be doing this. From here on out, we're gonna try to have a guest every episode, and obviously they're gonna be different. Um, Tonight's theme was mental health. We're going to be talking about lots of different themes. Primarily, we're going to be talking about some news in KW.
Mhm.
We're going to try to see what's going on in the community. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up here for everyone watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. And we're going to go into some chat here and we see what people are saying.
Hi Ryan. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay, so to continue on with the stream, we'll probably be on for another. I mean, I'm good to be on for another, however long people are still asking questions and
Yeah,
talking.
I'll probably be on here around half hour.
I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up in chat just a bit. Um,
Well, I'm not. Should we scroll up?
no, I mean we'll scroll up if we have to, but right now Ryan says hi. Hi. How's it going?
Hi, Ryan. How's it going?
Gerv says these things can be hard to talk about, but when you do, the impact is like a ripple effect. It encourages and inspires more people. It will change your life and will save others too. I'm glad I did. Man, Gerv, what you said on Twitter, that actually
You're a
I agree.
bro.
That rippled with me. That I saw that and I was like, man, I'm so excited for this podcast. I'm so excited to share, my story, even though my story might not be that much of a not to the same extent as some other people's, of course, because I haven't made any huge life changing decisions or moves. But that
Yeah,
was
I
really good to
respect
read,
that a
Gerv.
lot, man.
It was a really good. it was really good for me to read. And I'm like I said, I'm sorry if I ever put you in one of those situations that made you feel any of those ways.
Yeah, I respect it a lot. Ryan Haggerty here says, "Thick, I have a question."
Yeah.
Ryan, ask away.
Yeah, go
Ask
ahead,
away.
man. I'm gonna read some more chat while I wait. Gavir
Sounds
inspires
good.
me. The guy deserves a bigger platform. I agree, man. I
I
agree,
agree.
Owen.
We try to get him on here
Yeah, we
at
could
some point.
probably get Gerv on the podcast one of these days. I'm sure he'd,
Yeah, at some point. Yeah,
I'm sure he'd have his opinion. Gabe Al Hindi,
for sure.
looking for medicine that will make me fish microwave lunch. You know what? Maybe
Oh
maybe
man.
that's what will make you happy. Maybe that'll make
Andre
you feel
Picard here
accomplished.
says, honestly, eating healthy is just impractical. Uh, I agree to an extent. It's getting less impractical. I think you can eat healthy.
Obviously,
Just sorry, go
I
ahead.
just want to preface this. If you we're gonna be reading chat, but if you don't want us to read something you said, you can put like /a at the start as like anonymous, and we won't, of course, put out your name because chat. Although you're chatting to everyone in here, maybe you don't want it to be broadcast as out loud or read out loud. So if you want to do that, that's also an option. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah. Just so everyone knows, if you're wondering why we're taking so long to respond on YouTube here, we are on a delay. How long is it, Griffin? I think 30 seconds,
It's
something like
30
that.
seconds right now. I'm probably gonna change it. I was messing with some settings before, but
Sounds good.
Thick's happy place is Don's Vats.
Who said that?
Gabe, I'm not gonna read that full thing out, Gabriel Hindi, but listen, listen, you and me both, buddy. You and me both. Uh, Nobody wants people to think bad about them. I agree, Tyler. Nobody wants. Gaming has owned our nation's attention and damned us all the ninth dimension. Gabe, you are. I love you, Gabe, man. Why don't we have conversations anymore, Gabriel Hindi? You are a funny man. You are a funny guy, and you have some sick things.
I'm just reading from the top down. It's kind of funny.
Uh, and like, as far as like mental health, we're not gonna go into recent events.
Nathan Pacey says, "Oh yeah, maybe I should address this. People are saying, why are you in your crawl space, Dante? Because I have a family of 5, and they're very loud, so I descended into here.
Actually,
Uh,
he's at the newest hit club, the KW Bomb Shelter. I don't know if you guys heard
that's
of it.
right. The KW bomb shot. That's funny.
It's believe it or not, it's legitimately just a bomb shelter in like someone's basement. Like it's not as lit as everyone says it is.
No, it's not. It's just wow. It's a good time though.
Is poker gambling? What do you
Who
think?
said that?
Ryan, to you, that was his question.
Read my essay, buddy. Shared with you.
Oh, is that his big essay?
I wrote an essay, yeah, a 13-page essay on why
About
poker's not
why
gambling.
it's clean?
They chirped me for it. um,
I love Gabe's messages. But the problem is I have to read them in
understudy.
my head first because he's such a memer. I like it. Rip Lil Peep, indeed, man, dude. I fucking love Lil Peep, dude. Rip Lil
True,
Peep,
actually,
man.
he had a few decent songs. I only heard of him kind of after he was gone, but man, he's got some good stuff.
Yeah, like exactly. I actually didn't know who Lil Peep was until he died, which is a sad thing to say. Like I'm not gonna
Very
come
sad.
out here and be I love when he died. It affected me. Like no, I didn't know him. It was after I heard the people were talking about it. Listen, his name is stupid. I'm gonna just come out and say that. Like I thought it was like Lil
um,
Peep, like he's a little chicken, he's singing nursery rhymes. Like that's what I thought, right? But then I heard his music and I was like, man, this guy like understands music. Like that's what I can take
true.
from it.
I just scrolled up. Gravir here says, "Hey guys, loving the initiative. I wish you guys a lot of success with this. You make big things happen. These are really important issues to talk about. It's great seeing this conversation. Again, thanks, Gravir, man. That's awesome.
Jacob wants to
Thanks.
turn this podcast into a shit talk podcast and a gossip
I read that.
podcast.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm 100% down to shit talk people, but not in a podcast format. Listen, I actually this is my opinion on things is that I don't want people to feel bad. So if you're gonna talk behind someone's back, that's okay in my opinion. As long as it's like not in a situation where they're ever gonna hear, and maybe that's like me being a mean person again, but like as long as you're not like saying things that like little clips at them after like making a joke. Like you make a joke about everyone's talking shit about Dante's hair, and you go up to Dante and be like, "Hey Dante, nice nice man bun you got there, bud."
Thanks, buddy. um, yeah, just reading a couple of these comments.
Mhm.
Thanks for hanging out here, guys.
Sweet, let's make this a blanking screen. I agree, Aiden. Talk about that. That was worth though. I'm gonna be honest. This stream is educational in the SpongeBob chicken voice. Uh,
Thanks, guys. Yeah, if you guys want to ask a couple questions, maybe.
anything you guys want to know?
Anything you want to know? We can talk about mental health a little bit too.
You guys are such beavers, dude. I can't read these things on stream. They're funny to me, but I hate it
I will
when
talk
my
about Fortnite.
yeah,
Anyone trying to play
Fortnite's
Fortnite
lit,
tonight?
dude. Yeah, I'll play some more.
I got PS4. I got it on PS4.
Mhm.
Anyone trying to play?
Thanks so much, Gerb, for saying that. I became a horrible person for a long time because I thought it was cool to make shitty, bigoted comments against people who were just like me. I feel you. I agree. You feel like it's okay. Like there's this constant discussion. Like anything I say, it's a joke. You're the problem. You getting offended is the problem. I mean, we touched on this before, but like it doesn't matter if someone getting offended is reasonable or unreasonable. It just matters that they are offended. Like it's all about the effect, right? And you shouldn't live a life trying to make people feel like shit. So as long as they're okay with it, if they're laughing back and they actually like don't give a shit, then yeah, go fire away, fire away. Say anything to me. I don't care at this point. Like I said, you
True.
can make any joke about me. I'm 100% down for it. There's a couple things that like will grind my gears, but overall I'm okay with most things. But like, don't hit up someone who might be struggling, in like a way
True.
that you can make it worse.
See Michael Wong in the chat. How's it going? Shout out.
Michael Wong's my boy, dude.
Ryan says, "Are you enjoying the popcorn?" Got a big bowl of it here. I am. It's pretty good.
I wish I could say sorry to all the people who I wronged, but I know it's too late. I don't think it's too late. I don't think
No.
it's ever too late, man. And
No.
that is coming from a person who made a lot of mistakes, who was a piece of shit. And maybe I didn't say sorry because it didn't feel like sorry was like maybe this is my apology now, but maybe it didn't feel like sorry was even like acceptable at that point. But if you just improve the person you are, people will forgive you. People forgive people. It is a human trait to want to like each other, So if you can be
for
better,
sure.
yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. It's just people keep saying it's poker gambling. Thanks for memeing it.
Dude, fucking
I haven't
Wade
read the
came in
essay.
clutch. Can we talk about Wade for a second? Shout out to my boy
What?
Wade and hooking me up with the blue study sheet before my exam because listen,
Ooh,
I passed that boy. I passed her.
nice.
I never said
How'd you do?
I never said I got a 65 on that exam.
Ooh,
like
nice, buddy.
like I was
Hey,
stressing, but like I actually did pretty well for how I
it's
was.
quite a pass.
And my boy Wade definitely helped me a ton with that because he shared a sheet with me and like I didn't straight copy it, but like it definitely helped, like for sure.
True, of course. Uh, Cheese over here saying Dante equals Keem. Uh, I don't see any G Fuel,
Yeah,
so
yeah. And
going with
Keem has like a expensive setup. Dante's in a bomb shelter, so
That's true. That's
like
facts.
he needs like a big desk for that. Here's another comment. The dumbest thing I ever did was trick myself into thinking that if I acted like the people who bullied me, then people would start to like me. And I resonate with this. Being
Okay.
an asshole is not a terrible way to make people respect you in a way, but they don't really respect you. They just kind of like it's just a fact of life. People you always see in like movies. Like I watch I watch rom-coms because I'm that guy. But I watched What Woman Want or ever, and it's about a guy who's like an asshole, and he's king of the world. He's top of a company,
Yeah.
but he realizes that deep down, all the women just think he's a complete piece of shit, even though they have to act like he's an okay guy when when they're around. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree that can be a thought that you can go into. Man bun phase. I agree. Ali's coming in. I love the man bun.
The man bun phase. Facts, bro.
Fucking I'm not even gonna say his name, but you guys are such memers, dude. Because I don't want to go into that right now.
Owen, a little behind the times here. He just said, "Did anyone watch the Content Cop on Keemstar?" Pretty sure that's a little outdated, but
Hey.
good for you for trying there, buddy. Um,
I agree, Christian. Into the news. Yeah,
oh,
we need a
now I gotta
shitty
do some
intro.
Keemstar.
Good call.
Now I
Alright,
gotta
so
be a.
someone write us a shitty intro right now.
I
Give
think
us
they're memeing. No, bro, they're memeing because I'm on my popcorn here.
oh true, that's why you're Keemstar. True
That's why I'm
say.
Keemstar. You feel me? You
Oh.
feel me, buddy? How's his intro go? It's welcome drum alert. Uh, no, what? How does it go? Now I gotta figure it out.
It's good that you're talking about this, man. I think I think this is a good place, and even if you want to talk to me like off stream, I'm 100% down, man. I'm not calling you out, but people used to harass me for being gay back in grade 9, and it led to this shitty mindset where I hated everyone else and said the same kind of things to people who were going through the same shit. Like, exactly right. Like you, I'm trying to preach positivity this year at least. I'm trying to be, if you're feeling bad, don't be like, fuck you, you also feel bad, but you must feel worse than me. Like that's the worst. That's a poor mindset to have, and like it's a trap you can get into pretty easily. Everyone in the Twitch chat. Now that's a great intro. Good job getting
um,
my joke. Yo, we figured it out. We're pro podcasters.
yeah, we got it. We got it.
Give me $200. Is
Uh,
that our intro? Dante is keen without a
Shredder's memes from
beard.
Keemstar. Shredder's memes from Keemstar. What do we got?
Um,
How's it? Oh, it's like What is up, Drummer Nation? I'm your host, Killer
no,
Keemstar.
you're not.
Let's
You're not.
get right into the
No,
news.
first of all,
Guys, now listen.
no, Christian is 100% right on that one. I don't care. Listen, and if you're gonna do it, you gotta get it. It's right into the
What
news. Listen, there's
is up,
more O's in
Drummer
it than
Nation?
I's. You are
Facts.
please okay. Ryan wants me to explain my theory of
Shout out to
constructive
Owen.
bullying. No, I will go on my
Go ahead.
theory of constructive bullying.
Constructive bullying. Let's hear it.
Listen. You don't ever want to shit on someone who is not doing well and it's going to affect them. But, and this is my theory, say someone's picking their nose. Picking their nose, that's pretty gross, right? And
Pretty
no
nasty.
one
Or has
bullies
a
them
man
about
bun.
it. No one says some
Has a
shit to them
nasty
about
man
it,
bun.
right? No one says, man, that's fucked up. You fucking loser, you're picking your nose. They're gonna keep picking their nose, and everyone's gonna go around silently disliking that person and thinking they're gross because they haven't been told that it's wrong. So, I'll give you an example. In grade 9, I wore a lot of like pink clothing and shit, which isn't a problem. You go ahead, wear the hell you want, but like it's not a good way to like set yourself as like I'm the guy who wears fruity clothing and like
Yeah, whatever.
someone pointed that out to me. I'm like, you know what? That's true, right? And like it didn't make me feel good that someone like made fun of the clothing I was wearing, but I changed it, and then people stopped thinking I was gay, which is good for me because I actually like girls. So that was an advantage.
There's
So
anything
so
wrong
that's
with
that's the that's my
being
concept
gay.
of constructive bullying. That's not bullying. I know, man, but I'm saying that like I'm being more light on the topic, but even someone who bullies you about something, if it's something you can change and is objectively bad that you're doing. Like if someone were to bully me about being an asshole in grade 11, probably wouldn't have helped, but it might have helped because it might have made me be like, man, I need to stop doing this because people dislike me for it. And everyone wants to be liked. So that's my overall theory on constructive bullying.
True.
Hey everyone, this is running on empty food review. That is I will never watch another food review. Those are the worst content in my opinion.
Pass the breeze. Facts.
Yeah, prime example, Nathan Pacey. No offense to him, right? Because good friend of mine, but he's in really good shape now, and he wasn't. And he talks to me about this, so I'm pretty sure he's okay with me saying this on the podcast. He wasn't in great shape, and people called him fat, and he lost weight, which is like being called overweight is not a good thing. It's mean, but maybe it gets that emotion, and you think that whatever this blank thing that people aren't gonna like me for, people are gonna think less of me for, I can change. Which that's like the overall concept of constructive bullying as I explained it to Ryan, like in grade 11 when I was a piece of shit. So I don't disagree with my theory now, but maybe I wouldn't be so open about, maybe I wouldn't say it on a
I
podcast
know
in
what
front
you're
of 15 people.
saying.
Oh wait.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, that's interesting.
No, Fendel's lit, dude. Food review next
What's up?
week on KW Vibes. How's the popcorn, Dante?
What's up?
How's the popcorn?
Oh, it's great. Popcorn's great.
But what is bad objectively? Fair enough, Andre. I want to preface that with something bad objectively that you can change, and changing it won't make you feel bad about yourself. Like you still want to be yourself, but like for me, like I use this example of wearing clothing. When I switched to wearing, less fruity quote unquote clothing, I didn't make me feel bad. I wasn't like, man, I wish I could wear that clothing. I was just like, I made that change, and then people actually, started like people actually
Yeah,
were calling me gay and shit in grade 9, and I was like, first of all, that's a whole nother topic, whether gay is an insult or not. But when you're straight, it feels like an insult. It feels like it.
yeah. I see. No, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. I feel the same way about my hair.
you're
I
not
think
buying
I'm
it. I feel you, man.
losing
I
it.
feel you. The theory is weak. I
Um,
listen. If you don't agree, that's 100% on agree.
that's what a theory is for, I think. Um, I don't know if I 100% agree, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I definitely agree about my hair. Looking back at my hair, I think it was awful.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Um,
And if everyone just
right?
kind of let you have it, then you
And
might
everyone
still
was like,
have
"Oh, that's
awful
cool."
hair,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I
And then
think it was
everyone would
awful,
just
right?
talk shit about you behind your back. And,
Yeah,
and
like yeah,
yeah.
the fact that people were like, "Hey, bro, your hair's gay." Like, cool. All right, cool, man. Thanks. I mean, when I cut my hair, felt good. I mean, I don't know. I felt good. I liked it. Yeah,
So like I said, I honestly didn't want to go into this. Ryan of course asked me to go into it, but that's how I used to think. I don't know if I think the same way, but that was the theory
just turn
back
my light
then.
down.
And
Yeah.
like it could be the same way. Like I think the better solution here is like someone saying to you casually, straight up, like, "Man, that thing you're doing is pretty fucked up." Right? Like, man, when someone were to say to me, "Man, that bullying Twitter you have, it's pretty fucked up, man. You should stop that," right? And like that's less of bullying, and that has the same effect. It has the same effect of someone informing you that what you're doing is objectively bad. And I like, Andre asked what's objectively bad. It's hard to articulate that. It's hard to have that concept, but it's like something that many people would disagree with. Like I said, that you could change and you would feel better about yourself and people would feel better about you as a person. Yeah, bullying people for physical and social differences is fucked. I 100% agree with that. I agree that anything that someone can't change is like the worst thing to bully someone about and you should never do that in my opinion.
Tyler just said, "Welcome to the real world. People might not like everything about you, but at the end of the day, the people that actually point out the small differences and they don't like you aren't people that you care about." I totally agree. For me personally, like I try to be nice to everyone. I try to be friendly towards everyone. Um, and if I don't like something about you, whatever, I'll keep that to myself. I'm not going to point that out to you. And I think fine, you do you. You know what I mean? Um, I definitely think you should just feel, as long as people are feeling good about themselves,
Yeah.
let them be, right? Who are you to tell them what to do,
I
right?
agree. I agree with Ali. She says, as long as you feel good with yourself, then you're good. And I
Yeah, I like
agree.
that.
But when people don't like you, you feel bad about yourself. Is like the only thought, right? When people,
Mm,
you know, talk bad about you, you feel, when people don't include you in things because you're that guy who picks his nose. I'm bringing back to that one, right? You're gonna
mm,
feel bad because you're not included, and it's because you picked your nose. And if no one goes, man, you pick your nose, that's messed up, then maybe you keep doing it and you don't make that connection. You don't make that connection in your brain. You're like, why aren't people liking me? Why aren't people including me? It's because you do some
yeah,
bad
definitely a
stuff,
hard topic.
right? So it
Definitely hard.
like I said, it's you never talked, never. It's the worst, and it's like not everything that you can change. So if someone gets a new pair of glasses and someone's like, man, those glasses suck, that's not helping them
It's
because
not
they're not gonna get
cool.
a new pair of glasses because you told them their glasses suck. But if someone's wearing shirts to school that's like super like gender aggressive, like fuck women or something like that, or like, their
Yeah,
opinions
like
are like
that's
super.
not
You
okay.
want
You
to
know what I mean?
explain to them how their opinions are wrong, and even if it comes off in a bullying manner, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you saying, like, men master race or shit like that? Like, don't don't talk like that. But if someone doesn't tell them that what they're saying is wrong, they might continue to do it. Is like the idea.
I also want to say that we are not obviously the authority on this.
Yeah,
Like,
no, this is just
this
our
is just
opinion.
our opinions,
Yeah.
obviously, right? Ryan says felt so good he videotaped it.
No, no,
uh,
Gerv. Actually, I wanna comment that we don't want
what
any
group is it?
donations. We don't want to make any
Oh,
money from this.
no.
This is
We don't.
100% a platform for us just to talk, and I feel like just being able to talk and have people watch is just like super valuable, and like that's I
Yeah,
I, I don't want money for it, but I appreciate
no, we
that,
don't
Gerv.
need donations.
Yeah.
Thank you for offering that.
Sweet. I need a guide on how to not be an asshole. I can talk to you about that off stream, man. I can talk to you about that because no offense, Cooch, but you do say some things that are kind of mean sometimes, and like they don't get to me personally, but they might get to someone else, and like that's just me being legit with you. That sometimes you say some shit that's like, man, that's kind of just like it's a joke, and like some people laugh, but that person's gonna like actually like then question themselves, you know?
We're getting lots of great comments here.
Yeah.
Could we address racism, Christian? I think racism is just always wrong.
Yeah, racism's
I don't
always wrong.
see
I mean, like I
like
said,
there's
no one can
no
change that. No one can change, and they shouldn't have to change it
yeah.
either. Like it's not like
Obviously,
it's not a thing that's
obviously.
wrong with them. Yeah,
No, there's no. I think racism is just there addressed. It's always wrong.
yeah,
Like
yeah. It's flat wrong.
I think just what's that even called? Exclusivity, I guess what you would call it. Like excluding anyone for like any
Okay.
reason like that, like
Gabe
sexism.
Gabe says if people exclude you because of the way you dress or talk, that's the issue, not the person being excluded. Yes, to some extent. Yes, to some extent. I agree. People should include you, but if you
What
constantly
do you mean?
talk about how much you hate, you know, or you're talking about how much you hate this or you hate that, or you be like,
Yeah.
all you talk about is how shitty things are, and like that's kind of a bad, like, people don't want to hear that, man. I'm gonna just be 100% honest. People don't want to hear that. People like not all the time, people want people that they can vibe with. People want people that like will have a conversation with them. If like you try to talk to someone, they're like, every single comment they make back is just an insult towards you, you're not going to want to talk to them. And unless someone, like, it's almost like constructive bullying is coming full circle here. It's like bully bullies so they stop bullying people, like
Yeah. This
like I
constructive
don't
bullying.
know.
I think I know where you're coming
Yeah,
from, but
yeah, okay. I'm not going to go on it too hard, but yeah.
yeah. Um. I mean, yeah, it's good. Tyler says here. I mean, yeah, it's good to have self-awareness. I wouldn't consider it bullying if you call someone up for picking your nose in public. Um.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I, Fair enough.
But that
Yeah.
was like an extreme example, of course. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I wish I had more examples. Like I said, I didn't prepare this topic. This was a question, so I don't
Yeah.
have like. And once again, it's not like I don't go around spouting this opinion much anymore. It was more of a grade 11, pissed off, mad at the world kind of guy opinion. But like
Hmm.
I could talk about it more, like, off stream or whatever, if people wanted to ask me about it. But
I think that's one thing to
yeah,
say too. You mentioned off stream talking to people. Um, I don't know, but I don't want to speak for either, but I'd definitely be open to, if people see this and they maybe uh, resonate with something that we said in the podcast. Definitely, I'd be open to people talking to us or to me
yeah, yeah.
personally.
If you
Um,
just hit me with a
you know,
DM, I'm around.
yeah,
I'm
for
always
sure.
around.
Our handles are that's my Twitter that you see
Yeah,
underneath right here.
yeah,
Here, I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
That's my Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Just DM me on one of those. For sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gerv says, do you think our
Curse, that's a great
educational
question.
institutions are doing enough to address issues regarding to mental health of students? No,
Wow.
not at all. It's probably not going to change. that's like that's like
Yeah.
that's how I see it, right? Like, it is a shitty situation, but you can't look at it and like look for it as a reason to why things suck. And being like, man, I really wish our institutions were better, and then we'd all be happy. I really wish our schools were better, and then we'd all stop being mean to each other. It's like that's not the only issue. That's not the core. And I think that what we can change is like how we talk to each other and how we're open to each other's opinions. And
Yeah, I don't
like
think the school or the government's gonna fix it.
we're not honestly like yes, it's a problem. Is there a solution anywhere near any of us? If you want to start a movement that's going to do something about that, you do that. But unless you do something that big, it's not going to do anything to the school or the government. And that's just like the fact of life. The government's too big. Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah,
feel
I
you.
don't think it's
I feel
gonna.
you, man. The school does not give a shit. I mean, they try. They're doing better at it. They're having like I don't know if you guys know, but I talked to some teachers about what PD days are about, and like the last three PD days have been like trying to betterly understand how everyone's depressed. Like legitimately, that was what the PD days were on, and like so they're trying to like do a little better, but it's not good.
I think it's important to say point out that they're not doing nothing, right? And there are things they could do.
Teachers can
Um,
ruin your confidence. That's true.
that's true, very true. Um, so Tyler says here, what are they doing right now? What would you like them to do? Um, yeah, definitely some things that we can be doing here.
I think a lot of teachers are more open these days to
Yeah,
giving extensions, although an extension doesn't always fix the problem. Sometimes just makes it worse.
I think yeah. At the end of the day, you do got to realize that it's the whole education system. It's not specific teachers. I think there's lots of specific teachers that will
Bend over
actually be
backwards.
very
Like they'll do
not just
everything they
that.
can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like they'll do everything they can to like help you, but it's about
Mhm.
like you have to fix it yourself, and like like I said, it's an issue, but I don't think there's a really underlying solution there that the teachers could come to school and be like, "Hey everyone, we're just not gonna do tests anymore." Like that's not gonna happen. That's just not. It's they people talk about Finland where they don't have testing, all the way up through school, and it's like it's wishful thinking, to be honest. It's wishful thinking.
Ali says, I got told I don't have a basic understanding of concepts, and the mark she gave me was a pity mark. I know the teacher you're talking about. I think, obviously, um, I think specific teachers are uh, uh, one bad teacher can really ruin something for a student,
I agree.
and one bad teacher can ruin a subject for a student. This was uh, a math teacher. Um, I think if you go to our school, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah, of course I do.
And
Yeah, I had the same one.
yeah,
So
and she just, yeah, I think teachers need better training, which I hear they're doing with these PD days.
yeah.
Um, uh, man, they definitely just need better training um, on how to talk to students and how to uh, like view mental health.
Gerv, I've heard that story before you had where a teacher told you they didn't respect you, and I think you did the right thing by going to administration and having it fixed. Baj, what killed, and like it, there are going to be bad teachers and there are going to be good teachers, but I
Yeah,
think what they should focus on is I think the good ones are trying really hard, but they don't know why. Like people were so down, and I think if they could try and like spread to the other teachers, like, hey, this student talked to me about not doing so well. Maybe you could go easy on them because they said that going to your class makes them, hate themselves, right?
I yeah, I don't know if they know.
Like, like you ever talk to one teacher about your problems and you're just like kind of hoping that they'll talk to the other ones or like
Yeah,
get some of the other ones
for
off your
sure.
back? Yeah, I feel you because it's like I said, it's hard to talk about your problems.
Um, Gabir says, yeah, it took you 2 minutes. Slowly brushed off as nothing. You just said this, but man, that's
I don't.
I don't know what to say even. That's ridiculous. I think you could definitely bring that
There are good support
higher.
systems at WCI. I agree, Tyler. There are
That's
there
very
are
true.
better ones than other schools.
And to be clear, I know some people have definitely used these support systems, and they're great. I I love I've heard our guidance counselors are great.
It's hard to go to them though, to be honest.
Sure, a lot of the time too. But yeah, definitely, they're professionals. Obviously, they're trained for that, and I think it's definitely good to be using the support systems. in place. Definitely use your resources. That's another thing I was going to talk about in solutions
Mhm.
for mental health problems. Find use your resources. In these last, especially in the last decade, last 5 years, there's been crazy advancements in understanding of mental health, and uh, support systems have been put in place. There's been lots of new groups set up, websites set up, uh, call lines. Kids Help Phone is ridiculously underrated, I think, in my opinion. And man, like, use your resources, take advantage of maybe the first time we were talking earlier, Griffins was saying about how it's really hard to get help, to ask for help. You can do it anonymously. uh, Even trying to do it anonymously, there's apps actually there that you can even text SMS like a number, and there'll be a real representative responding to you. um, Learn these numbers sometimes, right? Save them in your phone, send them to a friend, and if a friend does come forward to you
Yeah.
asking for help or telling you their story, don't push it on them, and still keep talking to them. But if you think they might need professional help, there are people like that for you, right? There's resources for you. The suicide hotline is very important. I really like that. I've never needed to use it myself, but I've actually told one or two people in my life that I think it'd be a great option for them. Um,
And I agree, Jake. They
yeah,
can't
use the
fire and
resources.
replace teachers at all times because there is no great solution. That's the thing.
No,
It has to be a community solution. It's not like a schooling system solution. And like even the solution term is like not even like it's not a mass solution. You're not getting a direct answer. You're getting like you're helping. You're improving things, and that's what it comes down to. You need to do things that improve things. And I feel like replacing teachers is like, listen, every single LTO I've ever had has been a mess in high school. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't want a teacher that hasn't been there for 5 years. It makes it harder to take the course, and that's just flat out because they don't know what they're doing.
yeah.
And like they're stressed out because they're not ready to deal with your stress. Where's the teacher that's been there for a while? And I feel like some of the teachers they were raised in a world where when they had to be disciplined. They had to be told like when they were not doing something right, and then that would like whip them into gear and they get their shit together or whatever, right? So that's how they feel like they have to teach. Listen, that's not how society works anymore, and someone has to sit down with them and have a conversation with them about how that's not how teenagers work anymore. Listen, you tell us that we're pieces of shit and we're not gonna want to do things for you. Like we're not gonna be like, oh, gotta get my act together. Oh, look at me, I'm ready to get this assignment done that I haven't done for 3 weeks. Like, no, that's not how people work anymore. And maybe that's how it worked a while back. And that's why a lot of adults have trouble understanding, right? Because we're so different. This culture is so different than it was in the past. And I think that not to say like these teachers are innocent of being mean to you or like making you feel like ruining your confidence, but that's probably where they're coming from. Is it worked for them
Yeah.
for a teacher to be like, whip them into shape or whatever?
I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone for being pretty respectful and of this topic
Yeah.
and having a good discussion here.
You can walk in to whatever guidance counselor's office at school, and they will help. No evaluations necessary. Very true.
No appointment
Sometimes
necessary. Yeah.
sometimes the desk is a little annoying, but you can just like if you're feeling down, just talk to someone. Just straight up go for it.
hmm Teachers have no idea. I think that's generally true. I think there's some teachers that
That's good, Gerv.
understand a little bit, but um, yeah,
The school claims to be a safe space, and yet I still have people being racist, sexist, homophobic, etc. Part of the problem is that teachers don't care enough to enforce the anti-hate speech rule. I agree, but it's hard. Listen, there's only so many of them, and they may be in a position of power, but they're not in a position of complete power and
authority.
respect and authority and work. Like I said, if I don't like a teacher, I don't want to do an assignment for them, and that's just like how people work. So, although I do feel like they should be more open about when they see things happening, trying to fix them. They don't want everyone against them. But like it's I feel like it's a hard job. It's a harder job than we're making it out to be being a teacher, especially a high school teacher.
Oh, I think I think the I think teachers is one of the most important. Being a teacher is one of the most important jobs in the world. You're literally raising kids, right? Um, it's so important. High school teachers obviously are setting people up for success for the rest of their lives.
Or stopping them from
Uh,
success, which is a complete other
exactly,
issue. Like, it's amazing that
exactly.
a teacher who doesn't like you could just be like, "You don't get to go to that university you want to, idiot!"
Well,
like
exactly.
that's crazy to me, dude.
Here's
Like,
the thing
that's
too, right?
crazy. I
That was
don't
that
like
two
you,
weeks.
so I'm
We were talking about
screwing
that
your
2 weeks
life.
before,
Yeah,
and that 2 weeks literally determines the rest of my life.
yeah, that's
Like
crazy.
what, 40% of all my marks for that year were in 2 weeks.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm a
Wait,
teacher,
what?
I'm out here like, oh, you want to go
Out
to
here
Harvard?
handing out
Oh,
cards.
you want to go to Harvard and you needed a 90, but your assignment was only like a 73? I'll give you the 90 because I don't want to fuck you. I don't want to be the reason why you
I
know,
mean, you
like,
can't just do that though, right?
I know, but it's just like that's how I would feel as a teacher
You
personally,
can
right?
work with kids.
Yeah.
I would give kids
Yeah.
second chance, third chances, fifth chances, and extra assignments ready to prove them. You can't just give out marks, right? And that wouldn't be fair to the kids that are trying really hard. And because sometimes, at the end of the day, sometimes you do just have to buckle down and get to it and own your mistakes. It was a mistake to procrastinate this long, but that's what happened. Um, it feels bad, but you gotta do it. Cheesy says, Miss Kroll made sure I didn't fail this year. I think that's dope.
Yeah.
Teachers are under so much pressure. They're walking on the wire all the time. That's very true. Um, Ali says, I know personally how much teachers can care and how much they'll go through. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
Like I said,
family connections to
but for
teachers are a
me,
really important thing.
that was the problem when Miss Bannett, my bio teacher, was like talking about all these things and how she wanted to like help me succeed and all this stuff, and I'm like, I felt guilty because I was like, she cares and I'm still in the same spot. I'm still like not improving. So even for me, I don't even know. Like, I guess that's overall a good thing to be whatever to like go to some extent. But for me, it wasn't, and that's like a weird thing about myself.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions they would want to ask?
Yeah, all depends on the person. I agree. There are
Hmm.
teachers that generally care.
There's good people and there's bad people. Some good people are teachers. Some bad people are teachers. Right. Um, yeah. Anyone else want to throw in a question here? We might.
Sorry about that.
Griffin, when do you feel like wrapping up here?
Yeah, I feel like we could wrap up pretty soon. I think we've been live for about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
It's about an
That's great.
hour of the podcast and
And
about half an hour of discussion, which is pretty good.
yeah, I like that. I like that format.
Yeah.
Quick shout out again to everyone listening and
Yeah,
everyone that tuned in.
it means a ton to us. It makes us really happy. We're gonna probably gonna
Mhm,
talk off stream a bit about how hype it is.
for sure. That's awesome, guys.
Thanks so much.
Um, we'll give maybe another couple minutes for the delay to catch up and for everyone to be able to put in any final thoughts, final words.
Like I said, we're available off stream if you want to
For
continue
sure.
this discussion.
That's why we put our obviously why we put our handles in.
Why should you
At
hit the
the
gym
bottom.
couch, Cooch Lord or Matt? Listen, man, go to the gym
What should I
because
hit
it
at the
makes
gym?
you happy. Don't go to the gym because people tell you you should. Go to the
No, he
gym.
didn't say why. He said what? What should I hit at the gym?
Oh, I can read. Listen, I almost failed my bio exam. My English exam is
Listen,
gonna be
listen.
killer. Just say whatever makes you happy. Like for me, for me at the gym. Here's my gym rant. Uh, like it's like first, A, do I want to go to the gym? Do I not want to go to the gym? I'll still go even if I don't really want to go. Then I go to the gym. I'm like, I wasn't really feeling the gym. Guess I'll just hit arms. And if I was feeling the gym, then I'll hit legs because I love hitting arms. I don't like hitting legs. And I'm trying to hit cardio every day. Getting ready for rugby season, but I hate cardio and it's the worst part. And it's the worst. I hate it. All right. Anything else before we go? We'll give a second for the delay catch up. It's been good though. We're probably gonna have some upgrades to the podcast. I know I'm getting a better mic, for streaming and this podcast.
I
Uh,
have a better mic. Um,
but it
I
wasn't
didn't
really
use
set
it
up.
today because I didn't get set up
I
right.
know there was a little bit of crackling coming out of Dante's mic. I didn't want to ruin the podcast by pointing that out. But
Yeah, I heard it too, guys. Sorry
yeah,
about that.
yeah, it's something we'll work through and make sure it's better for the future. Yo, it
We'll
was
figure
actually
it
a good
out.
podcast. Thank you so much, Ali. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that means a ton to us.
Yeah. Giver says, "Sick job, guys. Again, really excited to see what y'all come." Thanks, guys.
That's,
Thank you.
of course, Gabe. Just
Thanks, Gabe.
it was
Flawlessly
dope.
synced. Okay.
Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate
Thanks.
that.
Thank you.
What's next week? Oh, so we have a whole
What do we
bunch of
have up next
topics.
week?
We have a whole
Yeah, we
bunch
have
of
our
topics.
topics up.
We haven't decided which one, but we're going to be
No.
talking passion projects is going to be coming up. We're going to be talking jobs and
Jobs.
like, do you enjoy your job? Does your job give you value? What does it do? We're going to be talking relationships, which that one's going to be juicy. that one
Gonna be good.
that one's going to be hard. We're going to be talking about friends and like the people you surround yourself with, and then we're going to be talking about social media and clout. All, and these are all
Clout.
separate clout gang. These are all topics we'll be hitting on over the next few weeks. And then if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead, leave them. Anywhere, just message us personally. We have a Twitter. It's at KW_vibes. We have YouTube. You could just leave a comment too. Anywhere.
Yeah, we'll be
and we'll read it.
posting this entire podcast
Yeah.
on YouTube
I think Dante's gonna clean it up a
later
bit.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll clean up the audio, take out my crackling.
Yeah. Well, the podcast is gonna go live to YouTube, so if you missed part of it, you can catch up. But there's gonna be a cleaner version, hopefully up maybe tomorrow. You could say.
Yep. You want to do a quick couple shout outs here real quick and
Yeah. Andre says, really
nothing
nice
shot.
job. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate that. Going
Thanks
for
so
long
much.
runs was hard at first. No, dude, I hate running. I hate running. Period. And yeah, I'm getting better, but it's still right. Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
One quick shout out. Tyler Genter and I have a poker tournament running tomorrow. It is going to be from about 6 p.m. to about midnight. You can DM either of us anywhere, text us, whatever, for information. We have about 8 spots left, 10 to 8 spots left. So yeah, definitely DM either of us to get into that. It's gonna be fun. It's only $20, and then we'll have a cash game running afterwards. Maybe we'll see about that. Yeah.
I guess I want to shout out everyone who retweeted my tweet. You could still go ahead and do that if you want. I'll be I'll be making a donation to
yeah.
What was it? It was Mental Health Association of Ontario or Canada, and I'll be making a donation based on the retweets. I might make a bigger donation than the amount of retweets it got because I feel like the podcast was successful as it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna be matching whatever Griffin donates.
Oh, actually, that's sick.
Yeah.
Man. So
yeah, man.
So if you still want to retweet that or even just like it, just anything, help us spread the word. Like Gavir was saying, can he donate? Don't donate. Spread the word. That would be huge for us. That'd be huge for us.
If you did want to donate to us, Gavir, you could just maybe match whatever we're donating to the
honestly, yeah, that would be sweet because we don't need it. Trust me.
No. Yeah, no, we're all right.
All right.
We got that Dawn's money, boys.
Yo. Don't mean to flex on you. Don't mean to flex on y'all, but I got 2 promotions. I'm making. You got minimum wage. I'm making up here, yo. Not even flexing on these stacks. Not even.
I make adult minimum, boys.
Adult minimum.
I get taxed more too. Gang.
Shout out to SeatGeek for sponsor. SeatGeek is the #1 app where you can find places to share at.
Guys, before we start the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to EDU Birdie. Hey. You guys got essays coming up?
Just to finish it, I want to give another thank to Audible. Now Audible, if you didn't know.
Gavir here says I'll be donating. That's awesome. Thanks,
That's
bro.
sick, man.
That's awesome. We'll let you know how much we're donating. We'll post it on our Twitter, something like that.
And we're gonna post on Twitter, and if you want to DM us, we can actually DM you stickers because Quid is also sponsoring this episode. And let me tell you about Quid. Now Quid is the number.
No.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but
all right, we're gonna.
Hey, hold up! I just gotta pick up my HTC phone. And I'm on Ting, by the way. Ting is actually the #1 sir.
Buddy.
Yo, we're not doing this for money, but we're selling out.
On the real though, thanks for everyone.
Yep. Thanks so much for watching.
If you want to, make sure to catch future streams, just sub to our YouTube channel. That'd be great. Yeah. That'd be awesome. Again, the you don't have to watch it live. We would appreciate it. Obviously, we're
Yeah.
gonna do a sort of commenting afterwards,
Mhm.
and then we're gonna be trying to get some guests on in the coming weeks. So
Hopefully some of you.
maybe just
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So just DM us in on Twitter would be good
Yeah.
on our KW Vibes Twitter account. Awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching.